This is the cylinder we just casted, and I think it looks really great. I'm extremely happy with this cast because although it's not perfect and it won't be the one I use for the final product, I had a success with casting the transfer port successfully. I don't know how well you can see, but you can see the hole goes all the way through and out tangentially inside the cylinder. The one on this side unfortunately did not cast, so I will have to take some efforts to improve my reinforcement techniques. But basically, if you look a little closer earlier on in the video, you will see that I reinforced these ports, or the plaster that filled them, with steel pins, very small 1mm steel pins. And those steel pins went through the holes surrounded by the plaster to reinforce it so that the force of the metal hitting it wouldn't break, and that clearly worked on one half. So I think with a little bit more tuning and improving of that, I will be able to successfully cast both ports, and that will be really great. The cooling fins look really great almost all around. There's only one issue really here and a little bit of a breakthrough right below there. But in general, it looks really great in terms of the cooling fins. There was a small issue with the spark plug hole, but I just took a little file to it and then got rid of the metal that broke through. It didn't cover the hole, but there was a little, almost like an elephant's foot sticking out over the ridge here, but it cleaned up nicely. The clips casted nicely again. All of the screw holes casted nicely, and the cylinder is very smooth like last time. I think the surface finish is comparable, possibly slightly worse. There seems to be a few more scratches, but that's probably just because of how I finished it, and I wasn't necessarily the most careful with it. But in general, I think it looks really great. The bottom surface is a little bit more clean. On this old one, we had a little breakthrough there. It's more so just smaller surface defects on this version. But I'm really happy with this. It looks really great. And like I said, with one more cast, I think I will be able to cast the transfer port successfully. Everything else is functional in terms of its form and how it's cast. So that's really great. These holes, I basically made the decision, instead of trying to cast blind holes, I would just have drill like a finding hole. Basically, it's just a little divot that I will then put the tip of the screw into to drill out the hole instead of casting it. Ideally, I would have liked to cast all of the features and have to do very minimal post-processing in terms of machining operations, but unfortunately, I just don't think those blind holes would have casted, so I added a locating hole so I know exactly where to drill, and I'll just drill to the correct depth, and it will work perfectly, and I'll tap those holes, and that will work really great. But the exhaust casted well, like I said, the cooling fins casted well, everything is looking really great. So with a little bit more work, hopefully just one more iteration and one more attempt, I will have a functional cylinder, and I will be able to move on to the rest of the engine, such as the crankcase and everything else. But like I said, I'm really happy with this. It's looking great. That's it for now. I have some work to get to, so I'm gonna get going. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.